everybody. This is week 2 of having baby chicks, and they are growing like weeds. So they are probably double, if not more, than when we brought them home. And they're getting their feathers now. So one of the big things that they are doing right now is actually running through the brooder and then taking flight to see how long they can stay up. You'll notice behind me that they are freaking out a little bit because for whatever reason, they don't seem to like my voice. It could be because I'm always grabbing them and wiping their butts. Could be one of the reasons. So my plan this week was to get the chicks on my side so that they will love me, and when I come in here, they won't be afraid of me. And my plan was to use bribes. So this week I started giving them treats. I started with some scrambled eggs. I think I gave that to them maybe 3 times. Now the first time I gave it to them, of course I came in a very sweet voice. I said, "Hey chicks, hey girls, you know, how's it going?" And they scurried like somebody was chasing them with a chainsaw to the corner of the brooder and then fought to get as close to the corner as they could so that they were the furthest away from me. Now, what I did is I left the treats in the brooder for them and kind of just left and came back about an hour later, took the little dish out of there. The next day when I came in here, I put it in there, but I left the lid open and made that noise. I just kept saying chick, 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 in the hopes that they would kind of look and kind of want to come over. And I will say that they started to come over to eat the eggs while I was still standing here. Now, I wasn't leaning over. I had both of the lids closed on the brooder so they felt secure. The third time I gave them treats, I actually left the lid open. I was bending over with my hand in the brooder and I was making that noise, chick, 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 and I was tapping the little container, and a couple of them actually came over and grabbed a piece of the scrambled egg and took off. Now, once a couple of them did that, more of them came over to try and do that. So I think it's working. Might take me a little bit longer than I anticipated for them to actually want to come to me and maybe eat out of my hand, but I'm working on it. So let's talk a little bit about treats. Now, you can start giving your baby chicks treats at any time, really. I waited till week 2. I wanted to make sure that they were established with eating the chick feed that I was giving them, or the starter feed. And once I knew that they were good and, you know, they were smart enough not to eat the wood shavings and just the feed, I decided that it was time to give treats, which really, like I mentioned, coincided perfectly with trying to bribe them to get onto my side. When you're giving your chicks a treat, you want to make sure that it's just that, a treat. It's not a meal. It's a small little container filled with the treat that you've chosen. So again, I used scrambled eggs this week, but I am going to be giving them some lettuce, and you want to make sure that it's a small amount. Now, I probably won't give them all of this. This will be 2 days worth, but I've cut it all up really thin and small, so they're just little pieces. They'll take them, they'll run off, think that they have a special little private thing that they're getting. They'll gobble it up and they'll run back and grab some more. So what I'll do is I'll put a little bit in this container. It's just a canning lid. I'll put it in there. I'll tap on it a little bit with my nail just so that they can hear the tapping noise. I'll make the noise chick, 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 so that they get to realize that when I make that noise, they know they're getting a treat. Now, you do want to make sure that they are eating their chick starter. You want to make sure that that is their primary source of food and not all the treats. Now, let's talk a little bit about grit. Grit is something that you want to make sure that you're giving your chicks if you're going to be giving them treats. So what is grit? Grit is a material that helps your chicks or your chickens to actually break up that food that you're giving them, those treats, in order to properly digest. So chicks and chickens don't have teeth, and they need something to help them to break up that food that you're giving them. And so what they do is, for chickens who are free ranging, they don't necessarily need a lot of grit to be provided for them, because they will actually pick up small pebbles and stones and stuff like that, and gritty sand, and they will use that to help them to break up that food. But for our chicks, because they're in a brooder, they're not free ranging, we need to provide it to them. So what happens is they automatically know, instinctively know, that they need to eat some of this grit. And what it does is it sits in their gizzard, and when they eat their treats, then that food goes into their gizzard, and the muscles in their gizzard actually help them to break up that food so that they can properly digest it. So you just want to make sure that you are giving your baby chicks baby chick grit. You want to make sure that they're not really big, they're small enough so that they can handle it and hold it in their gizzard. Okay, so I am actually going to try to grab a couple of these chicks so that I can show you how big they're getting in person. And then I'm going to give them their lettuce treat with some grit and show you how they react to getting their new treat. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay, seriously? It's like Rocky trying to catch the chicken. Hi! Hi, girl! Okay, okay. Rub a bellies. Oh, hi, friends. Hi, friends. Okay, okay. All right, I don't think I'm gonna try and catch another one right now. They are super fast, but I can tell you that that girl there that I just had in my hand probably is 3, maybe 4 times as big as she was when we brought her home. So she is thriving. So I'm gonna put the camera actually in the brooder when I give them their treat, just so you can see how crazy they go for their new treat.